Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Spring is in the air, which means summer is quickly approaching, and before you know it, swimsuits, tank tops, shorts, trips to the beach, and pool parties will be in full swing. And there's a high likelihood that you'll be exposing the backs of your arms, stomach, thighs, calves, and wherever else you tend to show skin when the weather gets hot. But don't panic. In this two-part series on how to lose fat quickly, you'll learn how fast you can safely lose fat and about the best fat loss exercises and fat loss workouts. In the episode How to Tone and Lose Fat in One Body Part, you learned about how the fat burning process actually works. But before we get going into a fast fat loss workout, let me remind you how you actually lose fat. Imagine you have a big barrel of crude oil in the trunk of your car. Even though your car's engine uses gasoline and crude oil is used to make gasoline, all that crude oil in your trunk isn't doing you a bit of good unless it somehow gets converted into gasoline and put into your engine. Your body is no different. Think of all that fat around your waistline like the crude oil in your car's trunk. You can't just take the fat and burn it right where it sits on your waistline because your body must first convert the fat into a form of fuel that your body can actually burn for energy. Your body accomplishes this by taking the fat on your waistline, sending it to your liver, and breaking the fat down into something called free fatty acids, which can then be used for energy. So why do I use the gasoline analogy? Because to lose fat, you must put your body into a state where it needs to burn or mobilize that crude oil or fat for energy. And if you're constantly pulling over at gas stations and getting more gasoline, your body will never even think about tapping into that crude oil in your trunk. So to burn through the crude oil, you need to avoid frequent gasoline stops and also drive your car regularly. Before we can talk about safely losing weight quickly, we must also discuss what happens if you lose fat too quickly. Your body, just like a car, if you're not sick of that analogy yet, doesn't operate very well on fumes. But unlike a car, your body will actually start to break down its parts and turn them into fuel if you don't have enough energy on board. In other words, if you lose fat too fast, you can literally start to cannibalize non-fat tissue. Stop making hormones, slow down your metabolism, and have lots of other nasty effects when your calorie deficit gets too low. And that's why very low-calorie diets, such as ones where you drink juice made from cayenne pepper, lemon juice, and bits of maple syrup, seem to work very well at first, but then the rate of weight loss slows, the immune system weakens, exercise and muscle toning become impossible, and eventually you return to eating lots of food and yo-yoing until your weight comes right back up. The same effect can happen if you exercise too much, but in that case, you not only pay the metabolic price, but you also do permanent damage to your joints. So when it comes to calorie intake, how little is too little and how much is too much exercise? Although the numbers vary widely because people come in all shapes, sizes, and weights, a safe and permanent fat loss strategy is approximately 1 to 3% body fat loss per month, which comes out to around 2 pounds a week for most people. Most people can achieve this with about an hour of moderate exercise each day, combined with a daily calorie deficit of about 500 calories. However, if you're willing to put up with fatigue, nausea, constipation, or diarrhea, a very low-calorie diet of 800 calories per day or less could increase your weight loss to 3 to 5 pounds per week. Although this type of diet shouldn't be combined with exercise, you could mimic the effects of a very low-calorie diet by eating about 1,500 to 2,000 calories per day and exercising for 1.5 to 3 hours per day, in which case the gym and treadmill will become your very close friends. Usually, multi-joint full-body exercises such as a squat to overhead press, deadlift to curl, or uphill run on a treadmill are the fastest way to burn calories, increase fat-burning hormones, add lean muscle, and lose fat. But if you're doing a high amount of exercise for fast fat loss, such as 1.5 to 3 hours of exercise per day, you'll want to include primarily non-weight-bearing or non-impact exercise to protect your joints, such as riding a bike, using an elliptical trainer and rowing machine, swimming, or performing cable or elastic band movements. So what is the best fat loss workout? Well, in the episodes Which Workout Burns the Most Fat and What is the Best Workout for Fat Loss, you learn that a combination of weight training with high-intensity cardiovascular intervals mixed in is the fastest way to lose fat. If you're just getting started, and especially if you're obese, this type of routine can be tough, so you may need to simply start with a daily routine of light aerobic cardio, such as a 30-minute walk each morning, combined with easy resistance training, such as 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions for each of your muscles using a weight machine or set of home dumbbells. After 4 to 6 weeks of this type of activity, you should be able to add cardiovascular intervals mixed with weight training. If you need to lose weight more quickly than 4 to 6 weeks, and you're not currently completely inactive or obese, you could combine weight training with cardiovascular intervals up to 6 days per week with an easy aerobic recovery day and continue this type of training for 4 to 6 weeks before taking an entire easy recovery week to give your hormones, joints, heart, and mind a break. So, is there a fast fat loss diet? Well, as mentioned earlier, severe calorie restriction will certainly accelerate weight loss temporarily, but may have lasting health effects and be intensely uncomfortable. In reality, when your total calorie intake is equal, large studies haven't shown that eating low carbohydrate is any better for long-term weight loss than high carbohydrate, high fat, or high protein. So ultimately, most diets have pretty good weight loss potential, but the health potential may be something different altogether. However, when you're exercising for fast fat loss, it can be helpful to cycle your calories, which I talked about in the episode How to Lose Fat and Gain Muscle. And next week, I'm going to be reviewing more about calorie cycling, and I'm also going to be giving you a 4-week step-by-step workout for fast fat loss over the course of a month. So now that you know all the necessary components for how to lose fat quickly and you're ready for next week's episode, if you have any questions, be sure to head over to the Get Fit Guy Facebook page at facebook.com/getfitguy. I'd be happy to answer your questions there because I'm sure you have lots of them after listening in to this episode. Until next time, this is Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.